Hello, my dear students. Welcome to this online session of English Literature, Class 7th. The chapter we are going to cover today is The Three Questions by Leo Tolstoy. It is from New Mulberry English Course Book, Class 7th. In this book, we have 12 proses and 6 poems. We are going to start with chapter number 1 today, which is The Three Questions by Leo Tolstoy. In the short story, Three Questions, Leo Tolstoy explores the theme of wisdom, acceptance, kindness, and forgiveness. The story is about a king who wants to know the answer of the three questions so as to get enlightenment. Now, before telling you about the story, let me give you a brief introduction to the author, Leo Tolstoy. He was a famous Russian writer who is regarded as one of the greatest authors of all time. He received multiple nominations for the Nobel Prize in Literature every year from 1902 to 1906 and nominations for Nobel Peace Prize in 1901, 1902 and 1910, and the fact that he never won is a major Nobel Prize controversy. He is best known for his two longest works, War and Peace and Anna Karenina. Let us now begin with the story, The Three Questions. In this story, there was this certain king who believed that he would not fail if he knew what was the right time for every action, who were the right people to be with, and what was the most important thing to do. As the title suggests, these are the three questions that the king wanted to know the answers to. He was seeking these answers because he wanted to achieve enlightenment. He proclaimed that he would give a great reward to the person who can answer his three questions. A lot of learned men went for their answers. Unfortunately, their answers did not satisfy the king. So, the king decided to consult a wise hermit. He saw the hermit digging the ground, and out of compassion, he did it for the hermit. He kept on asking the three questions, but the hermit also kept silent until hours passed and it was already sunset. The hermit saw a bearded man running and his hands on his stomach. He was wounded and dying. The hermit told the king about it and they helped the bearded man. The next day, the king woke up and the bearded man saw him and apologized to him. He admitted that he was an enemy of the king. The bearded man said that he heard about the king going to the hermit, so he tried to kill him when he was on his way back home, but he failed. The king asked the hermit once again. Then in every question he was answered that we are going to see in the end of this chapter. Let us now begin with the course book. Okay, so before beginning with the story, I want to tell you a few things. First, you will see word meanings at the end of each page. Like you can see right here, beforehand, counsel. Also, if there are any other words that you don't understand the meaning of, you are supposed to use a dictionary and find out the meaning as we cannot communicate right now, find out the meaning and write down all of them in a notebook, in English notebook, followed by the question and answers that we will discuss in next video. So let us now begin with the story. Once upon a time, there was a king who believed that he would be successful if he knew the answers to the 3 questions. What was the right time to begin something? Who were the right people to listen to? And what was the most important thing to do? So these were the 3 questions that the king wanted the answers to. So he announced that a great reward would be given to anyone who could satisfactorily answer these questions. Wise men came to the king, but they all gave different answers. In reply to the first question, some said that to know the right time for every action, one must draw up in advance a table of days, months, and years, and must live strictly according to it. Others declared that it was impossible to decide beforehand. Beforehand means in advance. The right time for every action. Hence, one should always do one's duty instead of wasting time in idleness. Others, again, said that the king should have a council of wise men. Council means a group of people chosen to give advice, make rules, or do research, etc. So he was suggested that he should have a council of wise men who would help him fix the proper time for everything. So these were the suggestions that he was getting from different wise men, but he was not satisfied, obviously. Equally various were the answers to the second question. So these all the answers that we just saw, they were all the answers to the first question. Similarly, for second question also, he got a variety of answers. Some said that the counselors were the most important people. Others said that the priests, whereas the others said that the doctors, while some said the warriors were the most necessary. But they could not settle on any particular section. Now coming to the third question, what was the most important occupation? Some replied that the most important thing in the world was science. Others said it was skill in warfare. Warfare, do you people understand what is warfare? Warfare is an activity or action while fighting a war. Okay, so the others again that it was religious worship. So the variety of people, according to what they believed, they were giving answers to the questions that the king had asked. But king was not satisfied with their answers. He wanted something more. He wanted the answers that no one else could deny, that all of them should agree with. So all the answers were so different that the king could agree with none of them and gave the reward to none. But he still wished to find the right answers to his questions. So he decided to consult a hermit widely renowned for his wisdom. Now, who is a hermit? Hermit is a person who usually for religious reasons lives a very simple life alone. Okay, also the next word that we find new here is renowned. Renowned means famous and respected in society. So he decided to consult a hermit widely renowned for his wisdom, who is very famous for his wisdom. So coming to the next para. The hermit lived in a forest which he never left, and he welcomed only common folk. So, before reaching the hermit's cottage, the king put on simple clothes, got off his horse, and leaving his bodyguard behind, went on alone. Now, why did he decide to go alone and in simple clothes? Because the hermit would not have appreciated all the fancy stuff along with him. So, he just went there as a common man. The hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. Seeing the king, he greeted him and went on digging. The hermit was frail. Now, what does the term frail mean? Frail means very weak and thin. So the hermit, he was very frail, very weak. Each time he stuck his spade into the ground and turned a little earth, he breathed heavily. Okay, so it required a lot of effort from him to dig the ground. Moving to the next paragraph. The king went up to him and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, with 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I need the most? And what work is the most important and needs my attention first? The wise hermit listened to the king but answered nothing and started digging again. You are tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work a while for you. A while means for a while. Thank you, said the hermit, and giving the spade to the king, he sat down on the ground to rest, obviously. 1 hour passed and then another. The sun began to sink behind the trees, and the king at last stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, tell me so, and I will return home. This shows us that the king finally lost his patience and was not expecting an answer from the hermit anymore. So if it was a waste of time, he just wanted to go back to his palace. Okay, you can still see the word meanings at the end of the page. I want you to take a note of all the word meanings and learn them all. As soon as the school reopens, everything must be learned by you people, and there will be tests followed by exams. Now moving to the next paragraph. Here comes someone running, said the hermit. Let us see who it is. The king turned around and saw a man come running out of the forest. There was blood flowing from a wound on his leg. When he reached the king, he fell to the ground, moaning feebly. Feebly means making very less or weak sound that cannot be heard properly. The king washed the wound as best as he could and bandaged it with his handkerchief and with the towel the hermit had. When at last the man felt better, the king brought fresh water and gave it to him. Meanwhile, the sun had set and it had become cool. So the king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. Lying on his bed, the man closed his eyes and was quiet. The king was so tired from his walk and the work he had done that he crouched down. You know the position of crouching. It is the position with the body close to the ground and the legs bent under him. Okay, so he crouched and on the threshold means the floor or the ground at the bottom of a doorway. So he just crouched down there and fell asleep. He was so tired of physical work that he fell asleep. When he awoke in the morning, he found that the wounded stranger was staring intently at him. Intently means with keen interest and attention. "Forgive me," said the man in a weak voice, when he saw that the king was awake and was looking at him. "I do not know you and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. This shows that the king did not know the man, but the man knew who the king was. Moving to the next paragraph. "You do not know me, but I know you. I am an enemy of yours who swore to revenge himself on you, as you wrongly took away my property. I knew you had gone alone to see the hermit, and I planned to ambush you on your way back." Now, ambush means hiding and then making a surprise attack on someone. So the man had planned to ambush and punish the king for wrongly taking away his property. That was his intention, the man's intention. But the king, on the other hand, when he found him wounded, the king helped the man get better, took care of his wounds on his own. Okay, although he was king, he could have asked for assistance or he would have left the man there, but he took care of the man till he felt better. So now the man, he is apologizing to the king for having bad intention. So moving to the next paragraph. "But you did not return, so I came out to find you. Your bodyguard recognized me. As I ran away, I fell and I was wounded. I should have bled to death if you had not nursed me. I wished to harm you and you have saved my life. Now, if I live and if you wish it, I will serve you most faithfully. Forgive me." So the man is filled with remorse that he wanted to make it up to the king, make up for. The king, on the other hand, was happy to have made peace with his enemy. He not only forgave him, but said he would send his own physician to treat him and promised to restore his property. Now, who is a physician? I think we all know a doctor is called a physician. Then the king went out and looked around for the hermit. He wished once more to beg an answer to his questions before leaving. The hermit was outside, sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug during the day or the day before. The king approached him and said, "For the last time, I pray you to answer my questions, wise man." See, we see that how much patience the king has been with, that he waited for an entire day and the night, and the next day before leaving he is requesting the hermit to give the answers. "You have already been answered," said the hermit. "How answered? What do you mean?" asked the king. So the hermit claimed that he had already been answered. "Do you not see?" replied the hermit. "If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not stayed back to dig those beds for me, you would have been attacked by that man on your way back. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. I was the most important person, and to do me good was your most important business. Afterwards, when that man ran to us, the most important time was when you were attending to him. If you had not bound up his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important person, and what you did for him was your most important work. Remember then. And by this, I want you students also to remember the most important lesson in your life. These answer to these three very important questions, that there is only one time that is right. Now. It is the most important time because it is the only time when we have any power. Generally, most of us are in habit of procrastinating, right? You understand the term procrastination? Procrastination means being in the habit of delaying the time of action. Okay, I'll do this work later. I will do it later. I will do it later. Now, how many of you are in habit of leaving the work for some time later? Those all are actually the victim of this procrastination. So, the right time, there is only one right time, that is right now. So, you must believe in doing any work now, because it is the only time when we have power. Alright, the most important person is the one with whom you are at a particular moment. Okay, so you people are with your families right now. All of you are. Stay safe with your family. So the most important people in your life, that is your parents and your siblings. No one knows whether you will ever meet anyone else in future. The most important thing to do is to do good, because for that purpose alone we sent into this life. So you have to remember the three very important things in your life. First, the only time that we have is right now. The most important time. Then the most important person is our family, as we are staying with them. The most important time is now, that you have a chance to study, you have a chance to expand your horizons, you have a chance to see what good do you have in you, what are your talents. You have a lot of time to explore yourselves. So I would request you people to explore yourselves, to see, to find your hobbies. You have ample of time to study as well as play, and then even figure out your hobbies. Since you are spending all your time with your families, so the most important person is the family that you are staying with. And then the most important thing to do is to do good. So be good, behave well with your parents, listen to them, study well, take good care of yourselves, keep yourself safe, wash your hands. As we are facing this pandemic, wash your hands regularly, make it a habit, and keep on doing things as the present holds the power. With this, I will end the chapter. I hope you have understood the story well. It was a simple story but with the deep meaning. Okay, so I want you people to think about it, think about the story, and try to answer those questions on your own, the three important questions. Now you can see, as I have stopped here at the reference to context, and you can also see read, reflect and write. Okay, let me just wait here for a while. Reference to context. These are the questions. Now, so the homework for you is, first, write down the meanings in your copies. Second, try to answer these questions on your own, because I am going to give the answers only in the next video. Okay, so till then you have to find out the answers to these questions, and before watching the next video you have to write them down so that you can tally with the answers that I am going to tell you. So spend some time on this. With this I will end this video. Stay safe and have a happy learning. Take care, students.